Alright, this is like the third intro to the videos, but I want to. I have to show it to somebody. But I learned how to backflip. It took me like 4 tries. I flopped twice. But yeah, this is the collection of me learning how to backflip.
Go faster, what you're doing faster. There you go. Oh shit, he like. That's how I used to do it. Oh, you got it, you got it. Fuck yeah, let's go. You got it.
What's up, YouTube? This is the intro to my YouTube video. I'm just having some early morning cereal. Today's lift is me hitting upper. I'm trying a new split. I'm about to hit upper, lower, rest, push, pull legs. Hold on. I think that'll be good for my fatigue. I'm going to recover better off of that. Also, trying to change things up a little bit to just get results. Kind of plateauing right now. Not really happy with where I'm at, but it's because of my sleep, my food, and like just other stress, extenuating circumstances. So it's on me. I need to work better. You always can do better to get better. So that's my thinking. This is just the intro. This will be the last YouTube video where it's really messed up, like the quality where it's such a small percentage of the screen. Hopefully this is the last time. I haven't even attempted to figure out how to fix it, but I know it's fairly simple. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say. I'm gonna start the upper day right now. Hello YouTube, this is another workout video. I'm gonna hit, I think, upper or pull, depending on how I'm feeling. Yeah. This is my warm-up. I just do some simple pull-ups, which are really easy, and then some resistance band work that my physical therapist taught me to do to help my shoulder. As you know, both of my shoulders are torn. I am a lot limited in things I can do, so this is just more preventative to just make sure I stay as healthy as possible for my future workouts. This is my first set of lat pull downs, and honestly, it was not that good. The form, I could have gone a little bit lower. You don't need to go that deep when you train your lats. It's all vertical. You don't need to go that deep because most of the tension's at the top. However, I would have liked to have controlled the weight a little bit better, and I do the second set, so I'm okay with that. My second set right here is a lot better. Honestly, it is a good deal better than whatever that first set was. I don't know if I get as many reps. I think I do. I stay with the same weight, about 200 pounds. Right now, I only weigh about 170 pounds, so it's a little bit more than I weigh, so I'll take that. That's pretty good if you're able to lat pull down more than you weigh. And struggle a little bit to even get my straps set, but it's okay. It's all part of the process. I would have liked to have someone pull the weight down to me. That's really helpful mentally when you start your set, but it's okay. I'm able to get it by myself, and I bang out these reps a lot more smooth, a lot more control. I want as good form as I possibly can get on my workouts, so I'm going to take that as a W. Training form is so important, especially since standardized form is one of the key ways to grow. Here is some... Actually, I don't even need to explain it. I can just talk about what I want to talk about, and you can just watch the video, I guess. One thing I wanted to talk about today was forgiving people. Forgiveness is so weird, right? Because nowadays, people can confuse forgiveness for becoming weak. You know what I mean? But it's actually truly freeing in its own way. Because if someone does something against you, transgresses you in some way, what that does is it puts a hold on your life, because you're wrapped up in it if you don't forgive them. And in fact, it's very cliche to say this, but you're kind of letting them win when you do something like this. So forgiveness is so important, but like, how does that work? People might think or like wonder, and it's really hard. People don't always know how to forgive others, and because they think it is weak. But forgiveness and forgetting something is not the same thing, because the whole idea is that you forgive the person who wronged you for what they did, but you don't forget the actual action done against you, so that you don't lead to the same mistake. You know what I mean? You can but how to forgive someone is, honestly, it's different for every person. But the first steps are going to be realizing that we've all sinned, understanding what that person did is not because of you, or it might be, which would be a completely different conversation. And then, focusing on other things, because people, when they become hyper fixated on something, it's impossible for them to really focus on anything else. So if you can put your focus on something else, that will free up your mind to be able to do other things, focus on other things. You know what I mean? The next thing I want to talk about was this whole Joey Swoll situation. I think this is going to been blown completely out of proportion. And it's honestly stupid that he got canceled. People call him like this virtue signaler, and he's truly like a grifter and all that. But, he has done a lot of good for people. You know what I mean? He really has. You had that whole Dorian situation a couple months ago, which is just stupid. Like, honestly, it's their fault for posting him. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no way we're defending from him for what they did. Now, was his response completely merited? No. But at the same time, they still messed up. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think this whole, like, trying to preach the idea that he's just fake good, it's just stupid. Like, you're just trying to grasp at straws. This guy's been doing good things for years, and you're just upset. I don't know, you're upset that he is? I'm so confused. Moving on to this thing, I saw Sean do this, Sean Wood. He is so strong, and he is a big proponent for this exercise. And, I did 3 plates. I was like, dang, this feels kind of easy. I'm going to go up and wait. I'm going to go up another plate at least, because I see him do like 5 plates, and I did 3. I was like, I'm getting pretty close to him. Well, I was in for quite a rude awakening when I put 4 plates on, because I think I get it for 1 rep. So Sean is ridiculously strong, and, that's just honestly insane that someone is that strong as he is. And he has it's so funny, all the comments are like, never go audio for audio with this guy, or like, what is bro going through? And he's like in a completely loving relationship with his fitness girlfriend too. It's honestly the dream. But yeah, you can see me do 1 rep. I'm like, nope, we're going down and wait. So this is my second attempt at it. This is training your lower back, by the way. And I'm able to get a good amount of reps here. A lot more than the 4 plates. So yeah, mentally preparing myself as I try to do for most of my sets. And yeah, I'm quite tired recording this, so apology for the yawn. It's also kind of hard to grip it. That's the weirdest part, is trying to grip the actual weight. But yeah, I feel like I control the weight pretty well. I make quite some pretty exacerbated faces. I'm quite stressed out doing this, but I'm able to get the weight up, and that's all that matters. What else did I want to talk about? I had created a list, but I lost the list. Oh yeah, rage baiting people. Rage baiting can be fun and all, but inherently, as a friend, it doesn't really make sense. You're supposed to be nice to your friends and be there for them and whatever, and not to get too philosophical, but your friends are practically almost your brothers, right? And while it is okay to annoy them, some people just take it too far. One of my friends will just get personal and just goes so far into it that at that point, he's not even quote unquote rage baiting, just getting personal. It's like, dude, chill out. And those people, it's just, I don't know. The idea of it is just to incense your friends so much to the point where you make them angry. The Bible says to not incense someone to anger because it could lead to sin. And while you may or may not be religious, those are good words to live by, because what kind of friend would you be if you were to do do that to somebody, to make them angry, to get a reaction out of them. Now, sometimes it can be funny, I'll admit, to rage bait them, but sometimes it can just go way too far, and people do that. Another thing I wanted to talk about was comparisons on Instagram and stuff. And I'll be the first one to say I do it all the time. You open up your Instagram, you see someone, you're like, I need that physique. And then you look at yourself, you're like, wow, I look horrible. I'm nowhere even close to that. And for a lot of people, that can be really bad. But I don't see it as an all-out negative. I don't see social media as the negative people can portray it to be. People talk about how this will really feed into a negative mindset. But that's a good thing, in my opinion. You want to realize how almost minuscule you are in the vast scheme of the world. It should be motivating to you. It should push you to be better and say, if these people can do it, why can't I? And then you just say, well, I will do it. And obviously there are genetic limitations to everybody. You're probably not going to be Usain Bolt, even if you watch him a million times. But that's not exactly the point. The point being, social media is inherently bad, and someone posting their incredible physique also is inherently bad. It's the people themselves who view things. And I think a victim mentality is so prevalent nowadays, not just in politics or anything. I think in the church, a lot of religious people play victim and act victimized for everything, when religion is still the number one thing in the entire world. It runs a lot of the world. You know what I mean? Like religion, people act as if they're being persecuted when I don't really think that to be the case at all. Religion has always dominated the global sphere, and it continues to, no matter what they say. Shout out to this guy for letting me work in with him and do my rows, because he was doing shrugs, and so it was really nice of him to let me work in with him here. I'm doing barbell rows here because I'm Smith Machine for better stability, and I don't have a belt, so I'm not going that heavy. I'm only going, 2 plates. So, yeah. And the only reason I think I failed this set really early, it's because the little thing that locks the Smith Machine in place, it got caught on the rung, and I got so frustrated I just had to move on. But back to this whole victimization. People can find solace and feel a little bit better about themselves if they are in a place of being harmed, or they're the ones that are being at fault, they're being faulted. And that's a horrible way of thinking of things. If you want to be great, you don't let those things hold you back. You don't even acknowledge them. You just move on. I think that's such a good way of looking at things. So when it comes to social media, you only use it as fuel. This comparison game, which could get you down, it should get you down, because you're like, wow, I do not look good enough at all, and so I'm going to get better. This whole religious thing just doesn't even exist. It's propaganda. Propaganda is so prevalent in the news today. You don't even know what to believe half the time because everything is so slanted. And don't even get me started on that. But I don't think the whole comparison idea is really that bad. Honestly, I think it's a good thing. And I do believe that this victimization of people is really, really bad for society, because it breeds a lack of desire to even go out and achieve something. Because you can just sit back and blame things, blame your genetics, blame this hand you were dealt, blame how you were treated when you were younger, personal traumas and such. And not to be, that guy, but I myself have dealt with some things in my life, but I'm not going to let it hold me back. I'm going to keep pushing and try to be the best version I can be. One of those ways is through lifting. So that's just my 2 cents on that whole situation, or I don't know, that whole space. And speaking of spheres and spaces, the lifting community right now is so bad. It's so bad. You have these psyop, I don't even know what to describe them. They are either super liberal or super right-wing, and it's so weird and hard to look at. the fitness space should never be about someone's political ideals or how you lift and how that correlates to you in your personal life. Does that make sense? That's so stupid to me. I hate seeing just because I lift heavy or I do barbell curls or, I'm in the gym sometimes, I'm automatically a Republican or I'm automatically a Democrat. The gym and politics should never intertwine. That's so stupid. And I think that's a horrible way of going about things. I see it all the time, and you open up the comment section and people are just eating it up. They're just like, wow, this is so good. And all it is pandering to someone's ideals so that they can make a quick buck. I don't know. I just think it's so funny that people actually believe this stuff or go along with it. And it's not just that in the fitness industry, but there's a lot more. Like I said, comparison, having an amazing physique and posting about it, even being egotistical about it, there's nothing wrong with it. But the whole point of fitness should be to inspire people. And if it's not, that's fine. But the optimal or evidence-based or science-based lifting community with the Keenan flaps and your frontal and sagittal pulls and all these key buzzwords that make you sound more intellectual than you truly are beyond a basic anatomy class in high school, it puts you on a pedestal for some people to where they just feel better about themselves compared to others. And it's so embarrassing that you're not trying to actually help these people. You're just using key buzzwords that people don't understand for some reason because they're not very educated. And then leaving them hanging out to dry. A great example of this is Elijah Mundy. He's so much stronger than me, so much bigger than me. He's no longer natural. He takes steroids now, which I do not. But, he has such a wealth of information that he could share, and he only shares it ever so often because, he's honestly pretty full of himself. And people wouldn't like to think that because an influencer influences, right? So you have put them on a golden pedestal no matter what, and you just hold such a high ideal of them when they're humans with just an added skill set that is beyond the average person. So for them, his physique, or for some people, their intelligence. But the way he goes about it is really just tearing other people down, never answering questions, and I don't know. I feel like that is very representative of a lot of people in the community nowadays. I find that so stupid, Lifting is supposed to be this community where everyone comes together to be better and to better themselves. Everyone's at different parts in their journey, and that's okay. But you should always go out of your way to help people. It's my 2 cents about that whole situation. So did some incline curls, gonna do this tricep push down. And yeah, I have a lot of work I need to grow on my arms. So took a lot of sets to do arms. I didn't include a couple things because I just simply forgot. So I ended up hitting abs at the end. I hit hanging crunches and then weighted crunches, like hanging, if that makes sense. And then I did 30 minutes of cardio, which I will appreciate on the bike, set to the highest level of resistance, and did that for 30 minutes. Corny part of the video where I flex. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I am getting a little bit leaner, which I appreciate. To still a little bit of my very long way to go when it comes to getting leaner. I did 2 sets and retaining muscle, but I did started training abs consistently, and I feel like I noticed a small difference. I think what else I might have forgotten. I think that's about it. I think that's all I did. But I switched this variation because my friend Bo put me onto it, and I don't know. I feel like doesn't target things equally because of the stance and the way you're doing it. But I don't know. I'll keep trying it, keep experimenting with it. We'll see what I think. Yeah, this is very cringy posing, all right? Excuse me. I'm getting a little bit leaner. I still have a long way to go, honestly, to get to where I want to. And that goes the same for being muscular. But I am trying. My back is probably my strongest genetic, gift-wise. So it's coming in pretty well. That's the Christian Archer pose. I post this all the time. This is Sig pose. My chest caught a cramp here while I was trying to do this pose. Dude, look at my striations on my back. All right. Sorry. So 2 things. First, I got this. So I'm gonna start taking creatine. I've never been taking it really. So I'm gonna hop on it and see, you know, what the progress is. I'm making dinner right now. I just hit an upper day. So switching my split to upper lower push pull legs with 2 rest days. That's pretty much all I really want to talk about. When I get upstairs after I finish like showering and stuff, I'm probably gonna yap about some stuff that I've been thinking about. Making my dinner right now. I just had a beefy 5-layer burrito from Taco Bell. I'm making myself a pizza, and then I don't know, I'm probably gonna make myself some cereal before I go to bed. Oh, here's my dog. This is Grace. Hey, Grace. Say hi. Sit. Sit. She's not very obedient or smart, but I think she's the best dog in the world. We've been renovating our house, so our kitchen, we're pretty much the entire house, the floors, everything. So I haven't been able to see her for like 5 days. So it's really nice to see her. She's staring at my grandparents. She likes to jump on people. It's okay. Hey, watch out. But yeah. That was my upper day. Not that crazy, you know. Got a long way to go. Still working on fixing my programming, because that's really important to me. Just trying to get everything perfect. But yeah, that was my upper day. Yeah. Thanks for watching the video. I'm going to get the quality up soon. Hopefully include music and fix the camera itself. So just wait on that. Thanks for watching.